Hello, family, friends, and fans. I'm Fletcher Rhoden, and this is the Five and Dime Track by Track. It's part of the Fletcher Rhoden Track by Track series where I go through my albums track by track. Okay, today is a collection. It's the first song in a collection album called "The Five and Dime," the best of 2005 to 2010. So it's a 5 year period when I was really into my Christian years. A progressive Christian, though, as this song will illustrate. Uh, while I think of this as my Christian record, and it's like a double album, uh, it's, you know, I grew up in a secular household. So when I became a Christian, I didn't just change my worldview. I still embraced history and science and, all these secular institutions retained their value to me. I only had a deeper appreciation for the institutions of, the church and churches and prayer and being cognizant of that side of the historical coin. Because religion and history are inseparable. And in a lot of ways, secularism and Christian and any religion, religiosity and secularity are likewise inseparable. And one only exists because of the other. And it's a whole big thing. If you want to learn more about that, I have a book under the name Jenny Friends with called A Progressive Christian Handbook that talks all about it. Anyway, so the first song on this collection is called Strings, and it's about string theory. Not a very religious topic to start off a Christian album, but it's a catchy little poppy tune. I liked it. It didn't it didn't match my hopes for it in terms of the reception that it got. And I think largely that's because it goes into 3/4 time. It goes from 4/4 into a 3/4. And I think maybe 6/8 would have been better, or maybe just left it at 4/4. But I have a thing about being eclectic in my songwriting, and I still do. So maybe this is a lesson for songwriters. Don't be deliberately eclectic if the song doesn't really want it. But maybe the song does kind of want it. I don't know. I go back and forth on this. But it's a good song. I like the refrain. There's a play out, which some of my songs have these long play outs for solos and stuff. And this one has one of those, and it's a good one. And I always liked it. And in fact, several people noted that that was their favorite part of the song. So if you want, you can just skip to the last third or something. But give the song a listen. There's a link below. As all these individual analysis videos go, there's always going to be a link directly to the song. If you want to hear the whole record, you can either go back to the overview, where there'll be a link to the whole song list for free on YouTube, or just search, Fletcher Rhoden, The Five and Dime, best of 2005 to 2010, full album or complete album. That seems like a lot of trouble. Just go to the overview and grab the link from there. So go check out this song. It's a good one. How many songs do you hear about string theory? Right. I guess really there was a while there, and it's most of my life, when I didn't really write a lot of love songs because I'm not really romantic. I'm a romantic at heart, but my lifestyle isn't like that. I'm a lone wolf. So I don't have much to draw on in the way of inspiration for that kind of song. Lately, I haven't been caring. I just write the love songs anyway. You can write a love song without there being a person that you're in love with. There are a few songs on this collection that are, it's not about a particular girl. It's just someone I might love, someone you might love, someone the listener might love. A generic sort of a love interest. Um, but I didn't do that often. So here's a thing where I wrote a song about a scientific theory, string theory, which is it's looking at it now. I feel like God, anything other than a love song, huh? But it's interesting. What string theory is, if you don't know, is that everybody always thought that a particle, would be the smallest unit of the smallest building block of biology of any kind of scientific physical world would be a particle. It's either it was either at one time it was an atom, and then they broke it down that it's an electron or a neutron or one of these things, whichever is smallest. But then they realized that inside an electron and inside a proton, there's other stuff going on. So no matter how small the particle, any particle is, they discovered that there are strings running through it. And that these strings are really the smallest building blocks of creation. So it's not particles which are necessarily separate things. The basic building block of creation is a string. Now, what does a string do? It holds two things together. And if you look at it in a certain way, it's like the whole concept of our existence is based on the notion of us holding together, of what holds us together, not what keeps us apart. Particles are necessarily apart. Strings necessarily connect. So it's just a different way of, not only is it an interesting theory that strings are the smaller than particles, because particles have strings inside them, you see, but also that the basic building block of life comes down to the things which connect us and not the things which keep us separated. And that's a beautiful thought. So with that, I give you strings. It begins the five and dime, the best of 2005 to 2010, right here on Fletcher Rhoden, track by track. Check it out. Listen to the song. Maybe you come back and you hear the analysis again. Then maybe you can listen to the song again. Then you listen to a few others. You're gonna have fun. You'll like. Listen, you'll like. All right. Enjoy. Thanks for watching and giving me your attention. I'll take a bit more of it though. Until that time, bye, Mary.